I was born in a Chinese re-education camp. I'm watching history repeat itself while arbitrary re-education on a large scale experienced a lull following the end of the Cultural Revolution. Forced labor programs have remained a human rights concern in China in spite of the economic reforms of the following decades. Having experienced the reality of living under this regime, and now watching with horror as these atrocities are visited on my Uyghur brothers and sisters, it's difficult for me to comprehend how any Western actor could push for greater dialogue or engagement with such a regime. Since leaving China in 1995 to seek political freedom and pursue graduate education, I have made it my mission to speak out against the horrors perpetrated against the Uyghurs, despite the serious consequences I have had to pay. I have not seen my mother or father for more than 17 years. The Chinese authorities have prevented my ailing and aging parents from leaving to reunite with their American children and grandchildren. Though my parents have never been given a clear reason for this, I strongly believe it is because of my criticism of the Chinese government.
The U.S. Senate has taken serious steps forward on this issue by passing the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, which establishes broad import bans on products from the Uyghur region. The U.S. House of Representatives, which passed an earlier version of the bill in 2020, must now move quickly to pass this bill, so that President Joe Biden can sign it into law. That's not to say that this is a risk-free proposition for the countries implementing such a ban. Italy is one of the leading global importers of goods from Xinjiang, and it may be challenging for such a country to cut itself off from Xinjiang products, even if it would like to. That's why it's critical for powerful economies like the United States and other democracies to invest in viable alternatives to China's forced labor products, thereby making it easier for countries to diversify their supply chains. This June, the U.S. Senate passed the U.S. Innovation and Competition Act, which designates $250 billion to boost American scientific research, design, and semiconductor manufacturing. The United States and its democratic partners should consider similar legislation to boost the manufacturing of products that have until now been dominated by companies operating with forced labor in Xinjiang. Both Donald Trump's and Joe Biden's administrations have labeled China's actions toward the Uyghurs as a genocide, and the Canadian, British, Dutch and Lithuanian parliaments have concurred. State signatories to the United Nations Genocide Convention are obliged to take action to halt genocide when it occurs and punish the perpetrators. Yet so much more remains to be done to address the continuing horrors of Xinjiang. This cuts to the legal and moral core of the liberal international order. The dual strategy of import bans and domestic investment may not be a panacea, but it is undoubtedly a meaningful step in the right direction. After watching a lifetime of abuse by the Chinese regime, such actions give me at least a glimmer of hope that Uyghur lives mean more to the international community than platitudes.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe,